All right, so let's see if the audio is okay. Yep. How's it going, everyone? I hope you are doing great. I'm Dorgrado, and I am back with another daily analysis. As always, I'm gonna start off with the Forex analysis, and to be more exact, we'll start off with USD CAD, where we have this bearish opportunity running in some profits. TP1 was smashed on entry number 2, okay? And as we speak, it is currently running in some profits. To quickly recap why I took this setup, the reason for it was very simple. I saw a impulsive break towards the downside with this bearish leg, and I saw that before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here with this huge fake out to the upside. All right. After the break, I was able to identify this fair value gap that was lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they were both lining up with the area of interest. I also saw that the 4-hour was bearish on the trader graph, and the pullback was also pretty nice and corrective. Hence why we took this setup, and now we just need to wait and see how it will play out. On Euro USD, we have a bullish opportunity. Right here, we have a textbook break towards the upside caused by this bullish leg. After the break, I then identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The 4-hour is bullish on the trader graph, and so far we can see that we have a very nice and corrective pullback. Okay, on GBP CAD, we have another bullish opportunity. We had a very impulsive break of structure right here caused by this bullish leg. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here, okay, with this fake out to the downside. And after the break, I was able to identify this very small fair value gap that, as we can see, is lining with these two bullish trader order blocks, and they are all lining up with the area of interest of this bullish range. The 4-hour is also bullish on the trader graph, and we can see that the pullback has been a very nice and corrective one, okay, which means that the bullish pressure is still on, which is exactly what we want. On AUD CAD, we have a continuation of this uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here, okay, that took price higher and left imbalance behind. I was able to identify this fair value gap that is lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up with the area of interest. Both the daily and 4-hour are bullish on the trader graph, and so far the pullback has been very nice and corrective. On AUD USD, we have another bullish opportunity. Pretty textbook break of structure to the upside caused by this bullish leg. After that, I was able to identify this fair value gap lining up with these two bullish trader order blocks, and they are all lining up with the area of interest. Daily and 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph, and the pullback so far has been very nice and corrective as well. Okay, on NZD/USD, another bullish opportunity. Okay, looking pretty similar to AUD USD. Not gonna lie, we have a textbook break towards the upside caused by this bullish leg. After the break, I identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The 4-hour is also bullish on the trader graph, and so far this pullback is looking very nice and corrective as well. Okay, so definitely a valid setup. On Euro NZD, we have a bearish shift in momentum. Okay, right here we swept liquidity with this fake out to the upside, and immediately after that, price showed its true intentions by breaking structure to the downside very impulsively. After a break to the downside, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The 4-hour is bearish on the graph, and the pullback so far is looking very, very corrective, okay, which is exactly what we want. On Euro CHF, another bearish opportunity, another bearish shift in momentum, okay. As we can see, we had a fake out to the upside, we swept liquidity above this high, and immediately after that, price showed its true intentions by breaking structure to the downside very impulsively, okay. After the break, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up with the area of interest, with the premium area of this bearish range. The 4-hour the 4-hour is also bearish on the graph, and it is very safe to say that this pullback is looking very corrective so far. Okay, on USD CHF, another bearish opportunity looking pretty similar to Euro CHF. We have a bearish shift in momentum, liquidity sweep followed by a impulsive break. After that, I identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The 4-hour is also bearish on the graph, and check this out, the pullback is also very nice and corrective so far. On GBP USD, another bearish opportunity. Right here we have a textbook break towards the downside caused by this bearish leg. After the break, I was able to identify this very small fair value gap that is lining up with the premium area of this bearish range. The daily and the 4-hour are both bearish on the graph, and so far this pullback looks pretty corrective. Okay, so we definitely want to see a continuation of that. On Euro AUD, we have a bullish shift in momentum. Okay, right here we can see we have a liquidity sweep followed by an impulsive break towards the upside. After the break, I identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And now, last thing that we are waiting for is a corrective pullback. Okay, on NZD with a bearish opportunity. Right here we have a textbook bearish shift in momentum. Check this out. Liquidity sweep here by the wicks, followed by a very impulsive move towards the downside. We broke multiple levels of structure, which is an added confluence. Okay, the 4-hour is bearish on the graph. We also have a unmitigated order block lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And now the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, we have GBP JPY with a textbook bullish opportunity. Right here we can see we have a break to the upside caused by this bullish trade. And after that imbalance was left behind, I identified this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest, and the daily is also bullish on the graph. And now, last thing that we wait for is a corrective pullback. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's Forex analysis right here. As always, if there's any other questions, you should reach out on Discord. Now, I will go over today's metals analysis. And Ali asked, any trade? Hey Ali, so we just did the Forex analysis. If you weren't able to watch it from the beginning, feel free to rewatch it. Okay, after I end it, you will be able to rewatch the session. Okay, now back to the metals analysis. We have gold. Okay, where we have a bullish setup running in some nice profits as we speak. Okay, we had a very beautiful sniper reaction on the first entry, smashed TP1, and now price is currently running towards TP2. Okay, so definitely looking pretty promising. The reason I took this setup is because I saw a impulsive break to the upside, okay, caused by this bullish leg. After the break, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. The daily was also bullish on the graph, and we can see that the pullback was also very nice and corrective, hence why this was a very valid setup. Okay, Eddie said, okay boss, great. So yeah, just take your time and rewatch this whole session, and you will see all the trades we've discussed about. Okay, and on silver we have another bullish opportunity, but price seems to be this bullish that it doesn't really want to retrace. Okay, but the reason I took this setup is because I saw this very nice break with caused by this bullish leg. After the break, I identified this unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The daily is also bullish on the graph, and now we will need to wait for a corrective pullback. But as we can see, price is moving to the upside. So if that continues, this setup will become invalid. Okay, and yeah, on that note, we'll end today's metals analysis right here. As always, if there's any further questions, you should reach out on Discord. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US30, where I still cannot find a new setup, okay? Although price is very bullish, everything is just super linear, hence why I cannot really identify a range. And that is exactly why we're just going to move on to the next indice, which is SPX, okay? Ali said, is gold going to touch 2320? Well, that really depends, Ali, on the market, on the volatility. It depends on more aspects. You know, that's why we keep things super simple and we just stick to our setups using proper risk management, because that's everything that we need and we can do. Because apart from that, we cannot do anything else. We cannot control the market nor predict them with 100% accuracy. So yeah, that's my point of view. On SPX, we have another bullish opportunity. We have a very impulsive break towards the upside. Price is looking overall pretty bullish. We can see daily and 4 hour are both bullish on the graph. Pullback so far is very corrective as well. And we also have a fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Okay. And lastly, for our indices analysis, we have NAS 100 with a very nice impulsive bullish range. Okay, we can see we have a bullish break right here. After the break, imbalance was left behind. I was able to identify this unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. The 4 hour is also bullish on the graph, and the pullback so far is looking very, very nice and corrective. Okay, and yeah, on that note, we'll end today's indices analysis right here. As always, if there's any other questions, you should reach out on Discord. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin, where we won't really waste any time because there's no new setup on it. Okay, I'm going to just leave the chart as is and move on to Ethereum, where we have a bearish opportunity. Okay, right here, we have a bearish break of structure looking very clean. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here, which is a good added confluence. And after the break, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that, as we can see, is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. Daily and 4 hour are both bearish on the graph as well. And now the last thing that we are waiting for is a corrective pullback. Okay. On Dogecoin, we have another bearish opportunity. Once again, pretty textbook break towards the downside caused by this bearish leg. I was then able to identify a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The daily is also bearish on the trader graph, and same story as on Ethereum. The last thing that we now need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On XRP, I wasn't able to identify anything. We can see we have a pretty choppy price action, I would say. We have some huge wicks, not a lot of volume. Okay, hence why we're just gonna wait for some fresh structure. And lastly, on Solana, I think we have the same story here as well. Yeah, although we have this bearish move, I cannot really identify a bearish range. Okay, yeah, on that note, we'll end today's analysis right here. Hey Max, Max said, thanks Dirk Radu, very nice. You're welcome, brother. You're welcome, and thanks for your feedback. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we shall end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all on the dark side. Take care.